Hello everyone, in this video I'll be covering the best console mods in Baldur's Gate 3's mod manager and talking about every single one of them if they're worth downloading or not, because there is 250 mods currently in the mod manager and you're only able to download 100 of them. And I'm kind of doing a recap of all mods in 2024, so here is the console mod version of that. So I guess first things first, ImpUI, it's kind of necessary for a lot of them, so this is probably going to be the most downloaded mod. It has 2.8 million downloads. It's worth downloading because a lot of mods require it to work. Next is the unlocked level curve. I love this mod personally because level 20 builds just work really well. It's an interesting power spike, and it's now updated so that if you like druids, previously the druid wild shape forms were broken, but the creator dust bag actually put a lot of work in and made it corrected. So highly recommend this one, especially if you are playing multiple on another playthrough and you want something a little bit different. Next, we got ourselves hair unlock. This just gives you a bunch of different hairstyles from the different characters, so you can rock Orin's long style hair there and many others. This is a pretty good one, especially if you're looking for more options, and I would say that things like Jaheira's hair look great as well. The adjustable party limit mod made by Pixelbytes. This one's fantastic too, especially if you're playing on like your subsequent playthroughs. Being able to take every single companion with you is just awesome for all the banter that they have. In addition to this, there's also their Tactician Enhance mod, which I'll get to help balance out the difficulty. Another mod, this is probably one of my favorites, the Mistress Spells. This mod, it just adds 132 new spells to the game based on Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition rule set. So you've got things like Green Flame Blade here and many others, Booming Blade. There's so many different spells like Steel Wind Strike, which is a very powerful one, Conjure Fiend, and a whole lot others. So highly recommend Mistress Spells. There's a lot that you can do with this, and it has a lot of other class mods that actually use this, so that's awesome. Next is Fear Taylor's Camp Clothing mod. This is one of the best mods. It offers a ton of different clothing options that are kind of in the game, but not accessible to the player, so you can get outfits like this, which I know a lot of people really like for reasons, and many others. So these are camp clothing, and they will show up as camp clothing, so you can make it so your character is always wearing them. So when you go into dialogue, you'll be wearing whatever outfit that you pick from here, and there's some fancy dresses and other things. I think this mod is fantastic. There's like almost 500 different pieces of equipment in it. It's great. Next is Faerun colors. This actually goes well with that mod because it allows you to dye clothing in a bunch of different colors. This mod is made by TechRoot here. It's pretty fantastic. I love this mod, and it offers so many unique options for colors. So this works well with a lot of different mods, especially if you're Taylor's Camp Clothing. Next is the all camp clothes and dyes mod. So you get them all right at the start, so you can literally just have a kit full of these. It's kind of similar to the Fear Taylor's Camp Clothing. I actually prefer Fear Taylor's and Faerun colors because these are already in the game, so this doesn't really add anything new. Still a great mod, however. Weightless Gold just makes sense, but there's actually a better mod, which I'll be getting to in a moment. Kay's hair mod made by Persendipity, and they did a great job with this. There's a lot of unique hairstyles in this, and they all look pretty nice. So if you're looking for something new, try this one out. Fade's equipment distribution. This one is made by Graphic Fade, and it actually hooks up with his other mods to give you class specific gear at different stages of the game. So you go through the game and there's gonna be loot in different places, which is nice for people that have played through this game and want something a bit new. There's also mods that allow you to get all the items right from the start if you'd like, but yeah. Padme 4000's mods are fantastic. This is vanilla CC colors for all sections, so this gives you a bunch of different colors for your makeup, your hair, your horns, etc. All the Padme 4000 mods are great and do exactly what they say. Unlock level curve XP change. That's pretty good if you want to have a slightly different change to the XP scaling. Next is the extra encounters and mini bosses. I love this mod made by Relamod. They actually have a lot of great mods that I thoroughly enjoy. This adds 11 new mini bosses, 27 new encounters, and they all make sense with the lore. So again, if you're going through with like an increased party size, this can be a fun one because some of the fights like at Joaquin's Rest there are quite surprising. I love playing with this because it's always a fun way of experiencing the game with new encounters, and I just think it's awesome, so highly recommend it. Next is the Dark Urge Slayer gear and equipment. This just gives you a bunch of options that look, you know, as you can see there, but they offer some pretty overpowered benefits. And there's also camp clothing, so you can get the Dream Guardians outfit, which I know a lot of people want, and then like variations of Lae'zel's outfit there. Yeah, there's a lot to enjoy with this one, obviously. Double XP does what it says, doubles your XP. Works great with like the adjustable level curve mod. Polyamory fixes does what you'd expect, allows you to romance multiple characters. A little buggy at times, but yeah, this is great for some people that really want to engage with that. More hair. This gives you more hair. There's also more beards, which gives you more beards. This is great because some of these hair options look flawless on like both guy and girl characters. You can do your own Drist build here too, and yeah, I just really like the more hair by Eleanor Ruse. Underoos. Weightless consumables, good, but there's better. Don't download these two. You can actually just download a mod that'll remove weights entirely. Better inventory UI. This will just give different color backgrounds to your items, so you can see there like greens and grays. It's a nice little change in the quality of life, but it's not super necessary. Mind Weaver class. This is one of my top favorite classes. What's nice about this is there's multiple different subclasses now with the Frostveil Sage being added to this. And with this, you get a ton of options because they're all with unique spells. This is great for those that want to play and have something new, like the Sonic Warden is a single weapon psychic damage. Forest Blade is heavy armor force damage based. Astral Seer is cold and psychic with kind of like wild magic sorcerer things going on. Void Reaver is about the two-handed using two long swords at once. Aetheric Strider is about, which my head's covering right now, is about using using necrotic and psychic damage in the Frostveil Sage. I'll be covering here shortly. And Cheater Spell Scroll, made by Zelfos, one of the best mods out there. Shout out to the Zelfos, did a fantastic job with this. Basically, you can do whatever you want with this. You can respec your character, you can do a bunch of different spells. There's some that'll insta take out enemies. You can also make it so that you succeed on all dice rolls. You can make it so that you can't fail dice rolls. You can make it so that your damage will do pretty much infinite. You get a free Speak with the Dead, free Detect Thoughts, Guidance, Resistance, Action Surge, Arcane Recovery, Magic Missile. Pretty much all of these will just take out the enemy or, you know, do exactly what they said with pretty good chance of succeeding. It's great. Wings Unlocked. This is great if you want to play a character that has wings, or if you're waiting for the Asimar race mod to come to console. This can kind of substitute for that. Better target info. Be able to target your targets and see different things on them. So you can just see at a glance, oh, this character is weak to fire. Let's use fire on them. This is awesome. Great quality of life change made by Kate's. They did a great job. Next, we got ourselves darker black hair. As you can see here, it makes your hair darker. I'm surprised that the dark hair in this game is not that dark. Kay's hair extensions. Love this mod. Adds a bunch of extensions that you can add onto your character, kind of like Tav's hair salon at home. Blood Mage. Don't fully recommend this made by Doofalicious. It's not that strong. The icons don't match the Baldur's Gate 3 ones. And it's not that powerful. Basically, every single base game is going to be stronger than this, except for the Arcane Trickster Rogue. Mystic class. On the opposite end of the spectrum, this is the most powerful build in the game. It's got 63 different disciplines. With the Mystic expanded mod, you get 10 different subclasses. The Mystic's just a ton of fun. I got a few builds for it if you're curious. Inspirations uncapped, removes the 4 inspiration cap and makes it uncapped, as the name implies. Origin Mirror unlocked. This is a buggy one, but a lot of people love it. This allows you to change your characters and make them look however you want. There are some kind of issues, like Will, if he has horns, it'll override it and make it so that you don't get the appearance change. Same with Shadowheart. She has her blonde hair, you won't be able to see it. As Tiefling horns, new Tiefling horns, woohoo! NPC eye, skin, and hair colors made by Padme 4000 gives you a bunch of different options from base game characters, and this is nice. Tasha's feats adds a bunch of feats from Tasha's Cauldron of Everything sourcebook. Feats as in the ones you get at level 4, 8, and 12, not the feet that you walk on. Facial animations. This makes it so that your characters are more animated. I like this mod a lot, I'll be honest, because it just makes the characters feel more lifelike, which is great. Origin feats. So this enables the progression of classes to trigger the UI to display whenever the character reaches level 2 in a class. Origin feat provides players with common house rules. So yeah, you can see here it just changes some of the things so you get your subclasses at different levels. Yeah, it's an interesting one. Super. I'm not a huge fan of it. It works. Battle Mage. I prefer the Arcane Vanguard, to be honest, but this one's also pretty good. It's a half caster and half melee class. It's a good hybrid. Doesn't feel overpowered, so if you're looking for something balanced, this one's balanced. Very balanced. Medusa hair, as you can see, new hairs. Woo! It actually doesn't work well for me. For some reason, I can't get this one to work. Starting armor. I don't recommend this mod actually because it causes a lot of issues. And if you're playing as like certain classes, you won't be able to select things like the ranger won't be able to select their natural enemy and things like that, or they won't be able to select some of the options specific to classes. And it also causes bugs. And you're only going to use it at the start of the game when you can use something like the Cheater's Ring to summon in all the armor that you could ever want. So I actually don't recommend starting armor. More beards 3. If you ever wanted to have your character have a pipe or a cigar, there you go. It's funny. Diamond dice. This gives you dice that look like diamonds. They're pretty. Invisible shield. This makes it so you see your shield at all times. Kind of weird that you don't normally get to see your shield unless you pull it out for combat, but this now puts it on your back. Face is unlocked. It's kind of a similar to some of the others here that you can get, like Minthara's face, and you can put these on a bunch of different characters. It's great. Normal half illithid removes the illithid look, and this is the only way to do it on console, so highly recommend that because the illithid abilities are really good. Level up. Get a feat on every level. I actually don't recommend this one unless you really want to be overpowered. Witch class. This is a great class mod made by Nudo123 with 6 different subclasses, and it's a blast to play. It's intelligence based, kind of like the wizard, and I think it's really cool. It's got some unique spells like the ability to just turn yourself into a cat, and a lesser create water, and many others. Progressive weapons. This gives you a bunch of weapons that'll actually level up with you, so at level 3, 6, and 12 it'll get additional effects on them. I love mods like this, and I hope we see more of these, so I recommend that one. Secret scrolls. This gives you a bunch of scrolls that weren't in the base game, so if you're a wizard fan, you'll be able to actually scribe yourself some of the ones that you normally couldn't get. It's cool. Carry weight extra. This is the mod that I would recommend for all the carry weight. Don't get the infinite carry weight for gold or the consumable one. This one's a catch-all. It makes it so you can carry as much as you want, and yeah, this just works a lot better. Plasma weapons, dark set. This gives you lightsabers. Obviously I recommend this one, especially if you're a Star Wars fan. It's cool. Starting armor lists, again, another one that I don't recommend. It causes a bunch of issues for people. Gale's beard fix. This can be great for people that want to, you know, fix Gale's beard. Doesn't really work. Doesn't really affect people on PC, but on console it can. Act 1 capes and cloaks adds a bunch of new capes and cloaks to the game. They're not really game breaking. They just add things like +1 to stealth, +1 to religion. Not super strong. Better top bar condenses the top bar. This can be nice if you want to tidy things up on your screen. XP multiplier times 10. Don't combine this with other ones. Lydia's head's Seraphina. This is a really nice looking head, and Playmon has made a bunch of other ones, so shouts out to them for making these awesome mods. Show cam night notifications. This one actually is kind of buggy for some people, but it'll show if there's a, like, in your party, it'll put a notification above them if there's going to be a camp notification later that day. Esther's brilliant acquisitions. This gives you a bunch of items to Esther. It's great. You can also get a lot of these items just from the Cheater's Ring, so your choice. Vampire Origin, made by Lord President. One of my favorites. Lord President's also a channel member here, so I just want to give him a shout out for support. I really appreciate that. This one's great because you can turn yourself into a bat, and there's a whole bunch of other benefits. I encourage you to try this one out and look into this mod because it's nice. Being true to the lore, you can play yourself as a vampire. Godslayer class, I've done a build on it. You can see that if you want to check it out. Not super strong. Containers extended doesn't actually work, unfortunately, so I don't recommend that one. With 500,000 downloads, that's rough because it doesn't work. Clear map, this just clears the map up, and just some slight changes to it. It's okay. Crazy colors pack adds even more color options. It's cool. I like this one. Unlocked weapons. This gives us a bunch of different weapons that you normally can't get in the game, like the Chaos Flail and the Scythe of Merkel. Some of them are a bit big for the body. That's fine. Immortal Scratch makes him immortal. He's the goodest boy. He deserves it. Better healing potions increases the healing. It's good. P4 bangs everywhere. I love this mod because it works with the K's hair extension mod to basically create your own unique styles. It's kind of like the Tav's hair salon. It's great. Highly recommend it. More beards. As I mentioned earlier, it adds more beards. You make yourself look like Wolverine. Eastern Super Pack. This gives 44 katanas, odachis, wazakashis, shuriken, and many other cool things. There is katanas in the base game, but this just adds them. Underwear of Rituals. If you're using the Cheater's Ring, there's no real point to use this one. Artificer for Homebrew, made by Echo 0000. Great mod. 4 unique subclasses with the Alchemist, Armorer, Artillerist, and Battlesmith. I've done builds on all 4 of those, so you can check those out in further detail if you want to see what that's all about. Mysterious Artifact die set. This one looks just great. Better tooltips. This will add a little bit extra information to tooltips. Not super necessary, but it can be a nice quality of life. Alternate horns for tieflings. It's nice for more horns. Lemon tattoo replacer will give a bunch of new tattoos and body art there, so that's cool. Dread Overlord Warlock. I love this. This adds the ability to play as a Dread Overlord Warlock with a skeleton dragon, with a giant skeleton there, the Warlock. It's got a lot of great things in it, so I recommend this one. One of my favorite class mods. And another, I see 3 of my favorites here. Blood Sorcerer. This is a high risk, high reward sorcerer class coming with its own unique spells. I did a build on it, so check that out if you want to see it in further detail. And I also did a multi-class of these two, so the Blood Sorcerer mixed with the Dread Overlord, because they actually go together very well. More head choices and more beard choices. They're good if you want more options. Try them out. Don't save if you don't like it, and then you can always just remove the mod. But the Arcane Vanguard, one of my favorite class mods of all time, they just added a new one, the Ice Quiver, which I posted a build on my channel. This one's made by Sathos. They do a fantastic job with all their mods. They also have the Carrier collection, which is 4 subclasses. Hopefully will be coming soon to console. But just want to give a shout out to Sathos. They're also in my Discord server, where the link's in the description of this video if you want to join and give them a thanks, or just check out some of their updates, because they're always providing updates on their newest mods. They do a great job. Marauder, this is a very offensive focused rogue, so if you're a rogue fan, this one actually feels good in combat. Better containers, it's okay, just makes containers the little box here a little bit bigger. It's good. P4 hair, makeup, lip, and tattoo colors. More colors the better. Bag of holding, this if you're a Dungeons and Dragons fan, you'll know what this is. Yeah, I'll just leave it at that. Free respecs and hirelings, so it removes the cost. I don't really recommend this one, because you can always just give yourself Cheater's Ring gold, or use the debug book to give yourself gold. Now, Tactician Enhance, this is one of my favorite mods, because it allows you to either scale with the amount of party members that you have, or you can statically increase the amount of health, as well as the actions and bonus actions that everyone in the game gets whenever you fight against them, which is huge. Because you can make this game, you know, as hard as you want it to be. I think that's awesome. So this is one of my favorite mods. I use it on certain playthroughs. It's great. Better context menu, just adds more context to the menu. It's okay. New dice, it's good. Glowing eyes restored will give you the option to have glowing eyes as a tiefling. NPC hairs covered something similar already. The treasure trove, this gives us 400 new items, and they all have 3 different versions of them as they get stronger. It's awesome. Free gold, Midas touch, don't recommend it because you always get gold else how. Underdark die, this is my favorite die other than the gold. Honor mode die, the accursed. I've done 2 builds on this. It's a high risk, moderate reward class, but it's still pretty fun. All classes get gods. As the name implies, you can choose your own deity selection in the character creator. Better starting gear for Shadowheart, it's okay. Gives different gear to Shadowheart, it's not super overpowered. Mjolnir and Stormbreaker, one of my favorites. This is made by Rosprey. They've made a ton of really great mods, and this just gives you the option to play with Mjolnir and Stormbreaker. And I actually did a Thor build using this item, so you can check that out on my channel. XP multiplier times 1,000, meh. P4 other heads, this gives a bunch of different heads from characters like Eredin or Raphael and Cazador, so you can use these on your characters. P4 eye colors, more eye colors the better. Rox's heads, it's good. Celestial Warlock, this gives us a radiant damage focused warlock. It's not strong, actually much stronger than the base game, or much weaker than the base game. It's okay. Better inventory UI, changes the UI. And Maya's head, one of the most popular head mods. Elemental cantrips just gives you a bunch of elemental choices for your cantrips. Sets of Faerun gives a bunch of new items, and it's pretty cool. Gale's Wizardly Updo gives them this fancy hairstyle. Better dying makes your dyes unlimited. Feats on even levels. I don't really recommend this either, but if you want, it can be a little bit overpowered. Makes Fireproof Carlock makes her fireproof. Grove and the Growl Druid equipment will give you a bunch of different Druid items, which is awesome. Medusa's eyes. More eyes, the better. Lydia's heads, more tattoo mods. Over explained interaction options prime. This will give it so that every time you have dialogue options, it'll show you which characters will get different approval. It'll show you the difficulty challenge of whatever checks there are. It'll show if certain ones will make it so you romance a character. It'll show you if you break your oath on certain things. This one's great for players that want to min-max their decisions. Twilight Cleric. This is a fun class. I've done a build on it. Check it out. It's great. Made by Grookey. They have some great mods as well. Eldritch Blast Enhance will enhance Eldritch Blast. It's okay. You really want it. Instant level 12. I don't actually recommend this. Use the debug book instead, because this will actually cause issues if you have level 20 mod, because it won't let you get to level 20. Paladins have gods. Kind of similar to the other one. Allows you to choose deities. The Mystic Expanded gives us up to 10 subclasses for the Mystic. I recommend both of those. Starting Armor Enhanced, don't recommend that one. Spellblade School of Wizard, it's fun, giving you a new subclass, that's awesome. Normal Volo's Eye will make it so that Volo's Eye does not look weird, or different, I guess. Dynamic Sidebar will make the sidebar a bit more tight, so that if you have multiple players, or multiple characters, it works a little better. The Godlike Armor, you can get this from other mods, just like the Oathbreaker Armor, and you actually can get this in the base game, you don't have to get mods. Unlimited Dying, there's others that do the same. Everyone Speaks with Animals, choose the Cheater's Ring. Horizon Walker Ranger. This does cause some confliction issues with other Ranger mods, but it's alright. You can teleport around. It almost feels like Ciri from The Witcher. Class, race, deity options. So this gives different options for races or for deities selection. Mishka comes to camp. This allows you to get the cat Mishka at your camp. That's cool. NPC hat hair for Tavs. Unlock level curve. These do as the name implies. More dice mods. Origin dialogue tags. So if you play as an origin character, it'll show you which ones are specific to that character. D20 initiative. Change the initiative die from 1d4 to 1d20, giving you much more chance of different things happening in the game. Features from D&D Planescape. This is a huge mod. There's so much to cover in this. You can see a bunch of different feats and options that it covers. This is a good mod. I really like this one. Check it out on Nexus Mods for further information. Infinite potions. You can always just spawn more potions in with the Cheater's Ring. Oath of Conquest. This is a very fun class. It's up to level 22. I recommend this one. Made by Havsglim. They did a great job. More die mod, more companion head mods, infinite arrows. Don't really recommend those two, but the more head one is great. MC outfit inspired dies. This just gives you a bunch of different dye colors. Spell list additions. This will actually give certain classes, like if you play as a warlock, you can now get Bane as a warlock, and it just adds different spells from Dungeons and Dragons to different characters, like being able to play a sorcerer and choose Grease, which is typically just a wizard spell. Evelyn Sweetheart. This is made by Pommel Strike. They're also in my Discord. Shouts out to them for the hard work that they do on all their mods. They also showcase some of the mods that they're working on in my Discord, so really appreciate that. And this is a shotgun mod. There's a lot to love with that, obviously, because when you're out of spell slots, you're not out of shotgun shells. Out of spells, not out of shells. College of Dance Bard. This makes it the bard like a monk, almost. I did a build on this, so you can check that out for further information. Easy toggle tutorial chest. You can do this with the Cheater's Ring or with this mod. They're great, because the tutorial chest will actually hold a lot of items that other mods use. Subtle Nature Eyes, as the name implies. Long Strider Quality of Life makes it so the Long Strider applies to your entire team. Become a vampire, another vampire mod, not as good as the other one. Gabe's Auto Depositor is required for some other mods, which I'll touch on in a moment. Goodies Backpack just adds a backpack full of stuff. The Cheater's Ring will also do that. Ember's Loot. This is a cool one. It's more so for fun. It's basically different fancy looking loots that you can perform a bunch of songs with and do it with the Ghost of Alfiria the Bard. Priest class, based on World of Warcraft Priest. This is fun. It's its own unique thing too. And you get holy power by casting spells, which you can use to cast more powerful spells. Kuatoa playable race, everyone knows this one. It's okay. If you want to play as a fish person. Unholy Smite, empowering Oathbreakers. This gives you an unholy smite made by Graphic Fade, who made Fade's equipment distribution earlier. The Epilogue Camp Clothing, you can get all these from Fear Taylor's Camp Clothing mod. More dice, different hair replacer for Shadowheart. Dark Justiciar legendary set, a better version of the Dark Justiciar items. Always Prepared Wizards, it's kind of a cheat mod. Sets of Faerun will give you all the different items from the sets of Faerun just in your tutorial chest. Blaze Aelin and Mizora head. So this gives you the Blaze Aelin's head, which is the same one as Mizora's head, and it looks great. It's one of my favorite ones. Alright, Strong Head gives us a new strong head. Pause. Dredge for Will. This gives Will a new hairstyle. It looks good. No Astral Tadpole required for the Illithid ability, so if you want to use those, you don't have to take the Astral Tadpole. Bone Daddy changes Wither's name. Slayer War Great Glaives. This gives us some new weapons. This one's also made by Skirby, who made the Plasma Weapons Lightsaber mod and many others. It's a great job. Selune Dice, just nice dice. Gale Dinner gives you items that you can feed to Gale. BFR Scratch Overhaul will make it so that Scratch no longer dies, and you can also level him up. It's great. Selenite Paladin's Oathbreaker lets you choose the Oathbreaker as a class. Neil's Bang and Bard gear gives us new Bard items. Some of these are just kind of, you know, as it implies, infinite elixirs. This will make all the camp clothing look like that, but you can also get that from the Fear Taylor Camp Clothing mod. Sorcerer weapons will increase into +2 and makes the silence effect increase from 12 to 15 DC. P4 custom die, more die options, obviously great. Divine Soul Sorcerer standalone class is a new class of the Divine Sorcerer. It's great. Per action, weapon action per combat. This just changed around, so makes that you can use weapon actions, refresh per combat instead of once per short or long rest. Debug book. This is one of my most highly recommended if you want to mess around, because with this you can make it so you can level up, you can give yourself gold, you can toggle god mode, you can skip to a bunch of different areas of the game. It's fun, especially on multiple playthroughs. More Gith heads in Hunter's Mark improvement, doesn't require concentration. Eloquence Bard, it's a fun one. The Warlock Remembrance gives you the Bard's abilities to be able to choose any spells at level 6 and level 10. It's pretty fun, but not super broken. More dice, more hair for Shadowheart, more dice. Mana Flare, this is a fun one. This gives you basically these glowing auras as weapons. It's cool. Gale's Longer Updo, great. Don't attack the ground, makes it so that you don't actually, if you touch the ground, I want to let you waste your attacks, which I've done millions of times. Do not press any key in the menu. This basically just takes you right to the menu of Baldur's Gate 3 when you load up the game. What else? More die. Random Spawn Generator. This one, not as popular as it should be. This basically just makes it so you can fight random generated fights, and it's almost like a roguelike mod in the roguelike mod, because you can just summon in random enemies to fight. It's great. Devil You Gnome. This basically rechanges Raphael into a gnome. It's funny, just meant for fun. And we got a few other ones here. Raptor Tamer subclasses. This is a fun one. They have the feats every level mod for each type of class. It's okay. Not super huge on that one, but it's all right. Handsome Astarion turns Astarion into Handsome Squidward. It's funny. It's not meant to be serious, but more so funny. Olympian Pantheon, which will give you the Olympic gods deity choices. Corinna Summon, I wish this one had more downloads. It basically gives you a summoning squirrel, and the squirrel is really powerful. Not brokenly overpowered, but it's a great summon. Alternate Gortash, it changes Gortash. And Gortash replaces Astarion, so you can actually play as, if you choose an origin to play as Astarion, it'll make you Gortash. So, there it is. Those are all the best mods in the console mod manager. I covered every single one of them. Told you if it's worth downloading or not. But if you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments below. Hit the subscribe button below if you haven't already. I appreciate all the support. I hope you're having a wonderful day. And I'll see you all in the next video.